Hi kids, and welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-December 2023 love reading. Thanks to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is look at the past, present, future energies between you and the main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's when the bridge and the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Bath Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. Also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's the way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the King of Coins. So this is Taurus energy here, and this could just be pointing to the fact that you might have been putting heavy focus on finances in the past, possibly just focusing more on career goals than anything related to the relationship at that time. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the Hierophant, which is also Taurus energy, and the Five of Swords, which is Aquarius energy. So what I'm getting from this primarily could just be saying that in the past they saw the potential and had a desire to turn this into a long-standing committed relationship with you, but they might have felt like they failed at actually communicating that in a clear way, right? So Five of Swords on how the decks can point to conflict, but if we look at the artwork here, if we look at their, well, let me see if I can get it to focus, there we go. Look at their facial expression, looks like there's a lot of regret. It looks like they're holding a bouquet of flowers and they're just like dropping them into the water, right? So it could just, they might have just felt like they might have missed their opportunity with you essentially, maybe because they saw you shift your focus more to your finances and career. All right, present energy on your side, we have the Four of Pentacles. So this is actually a Capricorn energy here, and again, looks like we're putting in focus on finances, right? But at the same time here, it looks like there's not so much a feeling of fulfillment. And then we do see that figure in the background. It looks like they're not physically in the room, but at the same time, they're there in some form, right? So it could just be one of those things saying that even as you're focusing on those things and possibly dealing with the level of success that you've had with all of that, there's still a lot of thoughts about this person on your mind, but you might almost view it as more of a distraction than a desired thing. All right, present energy on their side, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So this is actually a Virgo energy here, and it could just be pointing to them having a desire to help you see that there is a way to combine, right? Where, okay, you could still focus on your finances, right? Seeing those pentacles there, but you can still go out and have a little bit of fun as well. So they could be trying to pull you out of your shell a little bit and try to get you into somewhat of a work-life balance as far as that goes. All right, future energy on your side, we have Illusion, which is the equivalent of the moon in traditional tarot, and the Ten of Cups, which is a Pisces energy. So interesting mixture here, because this reminds me of the fact that you guys do have a full moon coming up in your sign toward the end of December, and then there will also be a Mercury retrograde during that time as well. It's going to start in your opposite sign of relationships and then move to your sixth house. But seeing the Ten of Cups beneath that, I could see that going either way, right? Because there could be some confusion on your part. So for some of you, you might start to see this as a Ten of Cups situation where that might not be the reality. But I feel like what's more likely for you, given the fact that it looks like there is quite a bit of resistance here, is you might feel like there isn't necessarily that potential, when underneath it all, there actually is that potential for a Ten of Cups type of energy within this connection. Right, future energy on their side, we have the Nine of Cups. So yeah, another indicator that they definitely seem to have a lot of desire for this connection and see it as a really positive connection. And what stands out a little bit here is that they both have masks on, so it could just be one of those things where in a way both of you are resisting how much you do want it, right? So for you, your way of doing so might have been to distract yourself, right, as far as trying to focus on other areas, even though you still found yourself constantly thinking about this person. And for them, at least it looks like they were a little bit more forthcoming and trying to express those feelings, but might not have fully shown how much they truly did want it. All right, so bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Eight of Staves. So yeah, this could just be, well, this is a Sagittarius energy for one, but this could just be saying that maybe as that energy does clear for you, right, where you do start to see a situation more clearly, and that's going to increase your desire to reach out and communicate to them more often. When I look at this card, the birds make me think of communication through airwaves, so, it might not be face-to-face for all of you necessarily, but it looks like there will be more communication, whether it be text, phone call, social media, you name it. But that's what I see with that. Right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the moon. So another indicator here that there could be something significant coming up for you guys around that full moon in your sign. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, again, it looks like they're a little bit more consistent with how they feel toward the connection. Where, like I said, for you, it seemed like there was a little bit more resistance to it, maybe even being a little bit confused about how you did feel about the situation. But I see you coming out of that for the majority of you, whereas for this person, seemed like they really kind of felt that feeling from the beginning. They might have felt like they botched their opportunity, but the feelings were still there. All right, moving on to your oracle cards. Let's see what we get from messages. I love oracle cards deck here. Just pulling a single card from this deck. Nope, got one there. Okay, and next we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, just a single card as well, and then we'll read the messages from both the cards and wrap the reading up with that. All right, and that does want to go back in the deck. So let's do this one first. All right, we have denial. It says detach with love to clearly see the truth. So interesting there, right? I could see this potentially playing out in two different ways, but primarily what I'm seeing here, well, like I said, the main thing was it looked like there was a focus on finances. We see more pentacle energy here with that figure off in the shadows, right? So it seems like they're not physically with you, but you're thinking about them often. So then we see the illusion in the future as well, right? So it could just be one of those things where you might have to find a way to just release it. And then, that'll clear up any of the fog around the situation. Then you can really realize, like, okay, am I doing this, for example, to distract myself from the fact that I want this connection, right? Things along those lines. And then when you see that more clearly, you'll be able to move forward. And on their side, it could just be saying that they might have to distance themselves a little bit as well, right? So if they feel like they're constantly trying to pull you out of this energy, but you just don't seem to be receptive to it, then they might need to take a step back, right? And then that on their end, that might actually help you see as well, right? If they do pull back, would you say, wow, I kind of missed this person's presence now, right? So it could just be one of those things where there could be a lack of really realizing like how much value you bring to each other's lives at this time. All right, and then moving on to the Wisdom of the Oracle card, we have Not For You. There's the artwork and the number 6. All right, so let's see what this has to say. All right, the relationship message says some relationships carry an innate seed of failure in them that is obvious from the beginning, but the red flags escape your observation or you refuse to acknowledge them. When a relationship is not meant to be, it is not possible to make it be. Rejection is a sign that you're being protected by the divine. If you are the one who must reject another, remember that you do so for both your sakes. For every pot there is a lid. This one may not be the best fit. So yeah, interesting there, because I did mention that for some of you when we were talking about the illusion card, right, where some of you, I still feel like it's a way smaller percentage of you might be viewing it as a 10 of cups when it's not the reality versus the other way around, given that it looks like there's a lot of resistance there. But for those of you who are viewing it that way, I feel like that's a key message to focus on there, where it could just be saying, you might have to just really distance yourself, right? And then that's where this would come into play, the denial, detach, right? Distance yourself and really see, like, okay, is there a reason why I'm pulling away from this connection other than fear, right? Is that, okay, maybe spirit is pulling you away from the connection, right? Or is it you having fear is pulling you away? So one of those things there, like I said, between the full moon in your sign toward the end of the month and the Mercury retrograde that starts in your house of relationships, it would totally make sense that you could have a little bit of confusion around those areas. So it's one of those things where, worst case, you could even just try to ride the energy out as we go through the end of December and into early January, and then just let nature take its course from there. But hopefully, that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there. I hope you have a good holiday season and New Year, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.